Guys, welcome to the vlog. I'm so excited that you are here. This has been a long time coming. Listen, we've been having a ton of fun over on TikTok, but now we do need a little bit longer form so that I can get my point across. And this is the point, that there is an opportunity that so many of you are sleeping on, and it's wholesale real estate and flipping houses. As normal, everyday people, me, 6 years ago, I was working 3 jobs, barely able to afford just a normal day-to-day between rent, food, and some type of pleasure, some type of going out and having fun. And I was sick of it, so I decided to change my life, change my mindset, and become somebody different. And guys, 6 years later, I've done over 250 real estate deals, both fix and flips and wholesales. And now I am on a mission to bring you guys with me and to show you it is not as hard as you think, and you are so much closer to achieving your goals than you think. Guys, $15,000, $20,000 a month is the opportunity that so many of you are sleeping on. I'm so pumped to bring it to you. And today, I'm gonna give you guys the 2 things that you absolutely need to be a good wholesaler in this business. And we're gonna talk a little bit about my story and how I got into this. Are you guys ready to learn something today? Guys, I had to go get quick Starbucks. Real quick hack, guys. No matter how much money I make, I'm always trying to budget and save where I can, okay?
Perks to being married to a
Perks to being married to a frugal wife and somebody that keeps me honest with my money, that's for sure. This drink right here, venti iced coffee. I got brown sugar pumps in it and a splash of milk, okay? Normally, when you get that shaken espresso drink, it's like $6 or $7 these days. This drink, it was $5. However, this is the tip. Only 100 stars, and it was free. You don't have to worry about the 250 star nonsense. Guys, in order to be good at being an entrepreneur, you gotta know your numbers, and this is just a small thing that gives me great satisfaction. Okay, on to what y'all came here for. So the top 2 characteristics you need. Let's do the first one here. Number 1, you gotta have initiative in this business. And I know that seems kind of silly to say, but it's so true. What I get in my DMs and in the comments on my TikTok videos that I do, a lot of people ask the same questions that I answer in so many videos. And what separates somebody that is gonna be successful and win in this business versus somebody that's just casually walking by is the initiative. Because with initiative, you go out and you answer your own questions. Like, for example, how do I get contracts? You Google contracts in your state, buy and sell agreements for real estate, as well as assignment addendums, boom, they come up. Or you go right to my TikTok page and you ask, and you go look in there and you say, oh, I don't know how to find buyers. I have videos on how to find buyers. There's so many people out there that are resources. The information is almost completely free, okay? And a lot of you don't have the initiative to go out there and actually find the answers and start. You're seeking things that don't matter. They're like fugazi, they don't matter, guys. What matters is your ability to go and get it done. That's what matters. Because once you are talking to sellers, you're gonna have a lot of issues come up. A lot of deals fall through. You're gonna be thinking on your feet. And a lot of you will freeze when that happens. You won't be able to actually overcome your own fear, let alone the seller's fear of selling their home to you. So the initiative is what helped me personally get over that. My story is not much different than your guys's. Back in 2017, I'm gonna take you guys a little bit back. Follow my journey. I promise you it has to do with initiative. So in 2017, I was working a job at a lobbying firm. I was like their intern for the legislative session. If you guys don't know, here in Nevada, there's only a legislative session every other year. So 2017 was that year that I had that position. Now, it paid like no money. It paid like $1,500 a month. And mind you, our rent in Reno was $2,000 a month. And so we had to look at each other and go, what the heck are we going to do to afford everything? So my wife was working a digital marketing job at the time. She was about to transition from working at the Eldorado Circus and Silver Legacy to a more kind of boutique firm where they did, you know, SEO and social media marketing. And so she was gonna take that job mainly because we both needed a little bit more stability in our life with income. Because I was chasing this dream that I was gonna be a big lobbyist someday. So I went and did the internship. I also got a job bartending at a nightclub at the Peppermill. At that time, it no longer exists, but at that time, Edge nightclub was one of the nightclubs in downtown, right? Now, I had never been in a nightclub before in my life. If you meet me, I am a little vanilla, I'll be honest. And I got the job. They were advertising, they were hiring a bartender. And I went in, I met with the director of nightlife, and I said to him, honestly, I just need a job. I'm broke, I need the extra money just to afford my bills. And the director looked me right in the eyes and he goes, son, have you actually ever been in a nightclub before? And I said, no sir, this is my first time ever. And he's like, why should I hire you? And I looked him back in the eyes and I said, sir, because I need the job. I need to make more money, I have goals, I have dreams, and I have a vision. And I just need the money right now. That's why I'm here. He hired me on the spot. Now, between all these jobs that we were working, we were able to start saving a little bit of money. After the legislative session, I ended up I worked for a couple campaigns as like a part-time campaign consultant, which also didn't pay a whole lot of money. Now, a lot of people think these people are wealthy. They're not, guys. We're making $1,500 a month. And later on, I got an opportunity to go work at my buddy's construction company. He said he needed another sales rep and I'd be good at selling roofing contracting. I didn't know roofing contracting to save my life. You could have told me it was window repair. I wouldn't have known the difference. The point is, he said, I'll pay you 10% of the jobs. And when I asked, what is your average job size? He said, $35,000. That means I'd make $3,000 a job. That is just great money. For somebody that's not making money, it's great money. So I just jumped right in and I started doing it. And that's the theme that I want you guys to understand with this business. The theme is you don't need to know everything before you start. You just don't. You need to have the initiative and the vision to go with it, to take that first step forward. That's it. It has nothing to do with how much knowledge you have or how many videos you watch or who you're listening to in a podcast. It has everything to do with you guys. You have to have the ability to know what you want and not be afraid to go get it. And it's okay if you don't know everything. It just truly is. Now you're wondering, how the heck did he end up getting into real estate and doing over 250 real estate deals, fix and flips and wholesales, based on this story? I'm gonna tell you right now. So, long story short, I end up meeting a guy, his name's Mike. And Mike had a beautiful family, seemed pretty well off because he bought the home next door to us, or at least across the street from us, cash, renovated it, moved his family in. I said I had to know what the heck he was doing. Keep in mind, my wife and I always had a goal that we wanted to be in real estate, but we just didn't know how we were going to do it because the knowledge at the time wasn't quite as abundant as it is today. If you were to Google how to flip houses and stuff, you would get these random books, maybe some Bigger Pockets blogs, but that was it. These videos and all these real estate gurus didn't really exist at the time, so we were trying to figure it out as we go. So I meet Mike. Mike says, you know what? I flip houses, and you seem like a guy that'd be really good at it. And I thought to myself, yes, because that's what I want to do. Now, he said he owns a franchise called Homevestors. Now, if you've ever seen it in your market, it's the We Buy Ugly Houses signs around town. And I didn't know that that was a franchise. I had no idea that you can even be a part of that organization because I thought it was a huge corporation nationwide. But it's not. So he put me in touch with the right people, and they ended up offering me the franchise. Now, here's what I fibbed just a little bit, okay? I fibbed just a little. They said to buy a franchise was gonna be like $35,000, and then I would need 10 grand on top of that for 3 months of marketing at a minimum. So that means I needed like 45 grand to do it. And I did not have the money, but I didn't want to tell them that. So I fibbed and said I did. Here's how I went and got the money, and I don't recommend this at all, okay? I wish I wouldn't have done it because I really messed up. One, we had 20 grand in our savings between the two of us that we had been saving for years working multiple jobs. I spent every dime of it. Every dime. I'm not exaggerating. Then I met a guy that said he can do an unsecured line of credit. Now, an unsecured line of credit is just a fancy way of saying credit cards. Boy, so he opened 3 credit cards for me that totaled the amount of money I needed to buy the rest of the franchise, which is another like 35 grand. And you know what I did? I took those 3 credit cards and I maxed them out the next day. They issued them to me and I maxed all 3 of them the next day. Massive mistake. My credit went, it was gone. Toast. For years, I had no credit because of it. Well, no credit, but it was bad, okay? So here's the moral of the story. I basically put myself in a corner, and if I didn't buy a house those first 2 months, I wouldn't have been able to afford the next month of marketing, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to afford the credit card payments. So when the leads started coming in from the marketing, I was hustling as hard as I could. And that's what's so important about initiative and what's important about your vision and what you see for your life. When I first maxed out those credit cards, I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until I sat down with my wife and we said, she looked at me dead in the eye and she goes, "Do you understand the financial trouble that you've kind of put us in now, right?" And that was the first time it dawned on me. The reason that was the first time is because I had this vision and I wasn't gonna let anything stop me. I was like, I'm just gonna go do it. I have 20 grand gone. I have these credit cards, 35 grand gone. Now I'm in it. I bought the franchise. I got the marketing money for 2 months. They told me I needed 3. I really only had 2. And I was like, I'm gonna do this. And thank God I did. The first month I bought a house, I wholesaled it for 13 grand. That gave me enough money to then finance another month of marketing on top of what I had and pay off my debts. I didn't really make money in that first deal, but it allowed me to have a little runway. And then I bought another house and another house and another house. And I slowly compounded to the point that I was like, okay, I can now increase my marketing. The point is, when you have a vision that you can see so clearly where you want to get to, you will do what it takes to do it. And you will even do things that will shock you and the people around you. They may not recognize you anymore. Your old self is shed off after because your vision is so clear that you just continue down and you just don't let anything stop you. That's what we did. And that's how we made it through those first couple years. They weren't easy. They weren't easy. But man, looking back, I have so much gratitude that we did it that way because now we have this life that we're not millionaires. Don't get me wrong. We're not millionaires, okay? But no one tells us what to do. No one pays our bills for us. And the government can't even tell us what to do. We do everything on our own for us every day. That's the secret to our success is we just wanted to be free and we made it. Guys, you can do it too. You're so much closer than you think. So much closer than you think. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 characteristic that you need to be successful in wholesale real estate and flipping houses in general, guys. Number 2 is problem-solving skills. You not only need to have initiative to get started and to get down the path that you want to go for your life, but you also need problem-solving skills. In this business, oftentimes the bigger the problem with the seller, the more your assignment fee is going to be. And so you need to be able to have their thinking cap on every single time you're talking to a seller. There's times where I've been talking to them and they'll say something like, I don't want to sell because of X, Y, and Z. That's the issue. Okay. So you're telling me if we can overcome that X, Y, and Z issue, you'd consider selling? Well, yeah. Boom. You've at least had them now thinking what happens if they overcome it. Oftentimes the problems that come up are so simple, and there's a solution right in front of you. You just have to be aware enough to see it. And that's why when I talk about mindset and self-awareness, it helps with problem solving. That's why these are so important, two characteristics, because all the other things that I like to teach are encompassed within them. If you are self-aware, you can then be actively listening to a seller and be able to, while you're talking to them, ask better questions, because you're listening to what their actual pain point is and their actual problem. Once you overcome that problem, they almost have no reason to say no to selling unless they truly just don't want to sell. So that's why when you're doing this business, a lot of people forget. They just think, I got my script, I'm going to start calling, and they're just going to have to sell me their house. No, they don't. They don't know you. You don't know them. They don't have to sell you anything. I got a comment the other day in one of my TikTok lives. He said, can you teach me how to buy my neighbor's house and force them to sell it to me? No. No one can teach you that, because you can't force anybody to do anything in this life. It has to be their choice, their free will choice. That being said, you can build massive rapport though with them, and if they already are a motivated seller, you can be their choice. They can look at you or talk to you on the phone, however you do it, whether you live in your market or you're virtual, and they'll say to themselves, out of all these candidates that I talked to, you know, Kit was really that guy that asked good questions, and he just seemed to care more than the other people. It wasn't about the house for him. It wasn't about the money for him. And I'm going to sell my house to him. You know how many times it's happened? So many people have said to me, Kit, you weren't my highest offer, but I'm going with you because not only do I trust that you're going to actually close on the house, but something about the way that we had this conversation that I just felt comfortable. That's the point that you want to get to with your sellers. The only way to get there is to be able to problem solve and think on your feet while you're talking to them, and also just to be talking to them as a normal person. That's what a lot of people get wrong in this business, is they forget that they're talking to just a normal human being. It's actually a very simple business at the end of the day, guys. It's sales and marketing. That's it. There's no magic script. There's no magic list to pull. It's simple sales and marketing. And the sooner you guys figure that out and have these two qualities, the sooner that you can go out there and make money for your family, guys. That's it for the video. If you like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Go follow me on my other social media channels, just the Kit Carson on all of them. If you got value out of this, I would just please ask you to like it. And if you want to see some more of this and you have questions, leave a comment on what you guys want to learn about wholesale real estate, and I will make a video on it, because I want you to overcome your own obstacles in your life, guys. I care about you. I want you to have financial freedom. Until next time.